I'm Richard Deacon, and we're talking in the ground floor of my studio with my wood store in the background. The way that I work is sometimes conditioned on availability, sometimes on lucky finds. So it acts like it's not quite a rubbish heap and it's not quite a store, it's somewhere in between. I often used to call myself a fabricator, someone who makes things, but to fabricate is also to make things up. A fabrication in a straightforward sense is a piece of built material, but in a fabrication in another sense is a story. That double meaning of fabrication I thought was a kind of a useful ambiguity to maintain. The Art for Other People series were made in a whole variety of materials, and each one was made in a different materials. I think most of them are built around an interior that isn't there, and the act of building is kind of enclosing a space. At the time, I was a little bit frustrated that, although it seemed to me obvious what I was doing, I was finding it difficult to explain. And so I thought I could make work which would do the explanation for me. So the title was Art for Other People because they were sort of intended to be explanations. It's a funny title because it never includes the viewer. So if someone reads Art for Other People, then you think, well, that's not me then. It's not art for me, it's something else for me. And I got to kind of quite like the fact that it may have been art for other people, but for you it was something special. I think there's a very close connection between language and material. Language almost shapes the world, as it were, kind of gives them their edges. You experience it often as a kid. Things lose their shape and they become a little scary because you can't kind of identify them as to what they are. Yeah, this is the upstairs studio, which is no less empty than the one downstairs, although it's full of a different kind of stuff. I'm a naughty boy. I tend to carry little bits of plant matter and bits of stone I pick up. Over here you have mostly collections of things. On this level you've got sort of cultural artifacts, here more ethnographic, and it gets more vegetable up here, and then mineral. These are my children's toys that I've stolen. Marge's hair I've always thought was a kind of great structure. I've always really been kind of interested in Marge Simpson's hair. When I first started working in different materials, it's partly to do with love and wanting the material to be equal in status and wanting the material to have a presence in the meaning of the work. It's kind of physical fact. But equally I felt that the material had a role to play as well as the form, and that if I only made work in one material, then the material just becomes the medium rather than a part of the message.